So this is the ultimate Walle, and I'll just kind of tell you about him real quick. He's got 10 degrees of freedom, so he has motors, several motors in his eyes to control. He has this binocular sort of effect on his eyes. He has shutters in his eyes. He's got a motor in each arm, motors in the wheels. He's got motors in the neck to go up and down, left and right. And then he's got a body motor that moves his body backward and forward. So we tried to get as much of the movement as we could from the film, and we actually worked really closely with the Pixar animators to understand sort of what was critical to making Walle feel alive. So we have as much of that movement in this robot as possible. The other thing he's got sensors, directional audio sensors on each side, one on this side and one on this side. So when you clap at him, he'll be, or shout to him from across the room, he'll hear you, turn to you, and be able to follow you. He's got obstacle avoidance sensors here, and I can sort of show you how that works. So if I go to move him forward, and you can see that he just ran into my hand and he backed up, backed away. I can do it again. See, he doesn't want, he sees us and he's running into us. See right there, he saw it and he backed away. So he's got obstacle avoidance sensors in the front and the back. He's got a motion sensor. See right there, he saw me move my hand, and he tries to turn to you. See, he can hear me, and he's turning to the sound of the audio, so he's turning to interact with me. We did all this stuff because we want Walle to feel alive. So the real critical thing we wanted is to make him feel like, you know, he's not just a robot, but he's actually a living being who responds to you, who's aware of you, and that's really the magic of making him feel like a real character. He responds to sound, so when you try to call him, he's responding to, you know, a noise. It could be a clap, is one way to do it. It could be his name. He's listening for your voice. He will have voice commands. We don't have that in this prototype. But he will have some voice commands, so he will be able to respond to certain phrases that he can recognize. But when he's in sort of follow me mode, he's just listening for a noise, and then he'll turn towards that noise and follow it. I'll show you another mode that he has, which is free roaming mode. So we'll just put that on for him. Okay, so now he's in free roaming mode, so he can move around on his own. This is sort of his patrol mode. So you can see he's just moving around the room. And I'm gonna bring him back. The other thing I want to show you is the animation, because again, we really tried hard to get his character, to bring his character through in expression and animation. So I'll show you some of his expressions. This is scary. Here's an excited emotion. The other thing I'll show you with him is he has a dance mode. Another feature on the remote. Here's a touch sensor. So the touch sensor is a really easy way to program his movement. What I'll show you is I'm just going to say, go forward, and he goes forward. So now I'm going to say, go forward, and then go in an S. He's also got regular, sort of RC-ish controls. So he's got the touch control. There he goes. Now he's doing an S shape. So I just made him do an S. Then the last thing I'll show you is you can put it all together, and we made it really easy to program the remote. So you can see here on the remote, we have all these icons for his emotions, like I was talking about before. You can make it really easy to program him, where you just press program, and then, you know, forward, and I'll play an expression, and then that expression, and so now he's playing all the expressions I just. So just by stringing together a series of animations, I'm able to get a lot of movement, a lot of sort of realistic feeling out of him. He's going to be out later this summer after the movie. He's going to retail for $189. And that's our guy. That's Walle.